All right, we're going to talk about linear equations today. A linear equation is an equation that forms a line. You see the word line in here when it is graphed. So what you want to think about is, can it be written in its standard form? Ax plus by equals c. That standard form, that's what you want to make sure that we can write it in. Okay, so on these questions, is it a linear equation? If so, write it in standard form. To decide whether or not it is a linear equation, you want to basically look for three things. X and y cannot be multiplied together. You cannot divide by either x or y. And the exponent of x can, well, either x or y can only be 1. So it's x and y to the first power. Okay, so x and y to first power, which basically means there's no exponent, cannot divide by x or y, and cannot multiply. Those would be not standard form, or not linear equations. So if you look through these, okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Right here, x and y multiplied together, that is not a linear equation. That's fine. X squared, that is not a linear equation. 2 divided by x, not a linear equation. Because if we were actually going to get rid of that, if you multiplied both sides by x, that would be x times y equals 2. So that is not linear. This one, on the other hand, when we have y divided by x, you can multiply both sides by x, you get y equals 3x. So that is linear. Now, the second part is writing it in standard form. Standard form is x and y on the same side, and x has to be positive. Okay, this term right here needs to be positive. So when we have 2x equals 4y, we're just going to move everything to one side. So minus the 4y over equals 0. That's in standard form. This one, number 2, there's no x term, which is fine. Just minus the 6, you get y equals 2. That is standard form. That is fine. Number 3, that already is in standard form. So you're done there. Number 5, y equals negative 3/4 x plus 5. The other thing about standard form is you cannot have fractions. So to get rid of fractions, what do? Yes, multiply by the denominator. So times everything by 4. So you get 4y equals, those cancel, negative 3x plus 5 times 4 is 20. From there, get x and y on the same side. So add 3x, you have 3x plus 4y equals 20. So right there's your answer. And then that was no, no, and yes. So y equals 3x. To put it in standard form, x and y have to be on the same side. So minus the y, you get 3x minus y. And that's it. So again, linear equation, x and y have to be the first power. You cannot divide by x or y. Like you can't be y divided by x, or I'm sorry, you can't have like a constant divided by x. And then you cannot multiply the two together. So like that one. Otherwise, it's going to be linear. Okay, so standard form, ax plus by equals c. So in this equation right here, 2x plus 4y equals 8. So I'm going to show you something. We have an x-intercept where the line crosses the x-axis. So at the x-intercept, if you cross the x-axis, what is your y value? 0. So here, y equals 0. And a y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, which what is the x value there? X is 0. So when we are graphing, if you have standard form and you're graphing, you can graph by a method called finding the intercepts. So what you basically do is say, okay, if x is 0, so if x is 0, this is 0, because 2 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus 4y equals 8. To solve, 4y equals 8, so y equals 2. That is your y-intercept. Okay, and then when y equals 0, if you cover up the 4y, so if this is not here because that's 0, you get 2x equals 8, divide by 2, x equals 4. Well, that's your x-intercept. So the x-intercept, that's 4 on the x-axis, y-intercept is 2, and you draw your line. Okay. The other way is to say, okay, we know how to graph from y equals mx plus b form, so we're going to put it in that form. So to put it in that form, minus the 2x, so you have 4y equals negative 2x plus 8, and then divide everything by 4. So y equals negative, reduce that, 1/2 x plus 2. Y-intercept is 2. Slope is negative 1/2. So that's down 1 over 2. So my line to go through that. Down 1 over 2. And I'd have the same line. Okay, so either way is fine. Okay, so for each equation, determine the x and y intercepts, convert it to slope-intercept form, and then graph by either method. So in this one right here, we're not in standard form yet. So all I'm going to do is minus the 4y. So I have 3x minus 4y equals negative 12. So now to find my intercepts. When x equals 0, I get 0 there. So minus 4y equals negative 12. Divide by negative 4, y equals 3. So that is my y-intercept right there. When y equals 0, meaning this is now 0, so you have 3x equals negative 12. Divide by 3, x equals negative 4. 2, 3, 4. That's right there. And connect them. So that's your x-intercept. Now, to convert it to slope-intercept form, though, if you have 3x equals 4y minus 12, I would add the 12 over. So 3x plus 12 equals 4y, and then divide by 4. So 3/4 x plus 3 equals y. Right there, the y-intercept is 3, the slope is 3/4, so that's up 3 over 4, and you get your line. Okay? So the next one, 5x plus 2y equals 8. To look when your x-intercept, when x equals 0, sorry, I wrote twice, x equals 0, this is gone, so you have 2y equals 8. Divide both sides by 2, and you get y equals 4. Not really sure why my pen is delayed. Sorry about that. Okay, and then when y equals 0, you have 5x plus 0, so 5x equals 8. Divide by 5, x equals 8/5, or 1 3/5. So 4 is your y-intercept, 1 3/5 is your x-intercept, and that is your line. Now, instead, if you were going to convert to standard form, or to slope-intercept form, we would minus the 5x. 2y equals negative 5x plus 8. Divide by 2. Y equals negative 5x plus 4. So right there, 4 is your y-intercept. Negative 5/2 is your x. Down 5 over 2, and you get the same line. Okay. Next one, x equals 4. That just looks like this. And 2x plus 3y equals 0. That, when you are equal to 0, you cannot use slope-intercept form. I'm sorry, you cannot use standard form because both the x and y-intercept are 0. We actually have to minus the 2x. So 3y minus 2x equals negative 2x. Divide by 3, y equals negative 2/3 x. So y-intercept of 0, slope of negative 2/3. Looks like that. Okay. Next is your U-try page. And next, applications. These are basically the same thing, but I am going to stop here and I will pick up the applications piece on topic 9 video part 2.